made all in one pot is good by me, right? So what I'm doing right now is browning my chicken. This is 3 pounds of chicken. I'm using a combination of drumsticks and thighs. This is a large skillet with straight sides. It's just large enough to hold the chicken. You don't want anything too big because your liquid will evaporate too quickly. But get your chicken nice and brown. While you're waiting for that, you can cut up an onion. The chicken is going to cook in liquid with the rice, which is going to soften the skin, but if you brown it before you do that, you get some really fantastic flavor, and that's what I'm going for here with the browning of the chicken. Always build flavor. And then just add all your ingredients and go. Here we have some great variations on this recipe on marthastewart.com. We did them in our April issue. You should check those out if you like one-pot meals. And who doesn't? Need the equivalent of 1 medium onions, usually about 1.5 cups of onion minced. This looks good. When your chicken is brown, you can take it out of the pan and set it aside so you can saute your vegetables. That's what I'm going to do right now. The thighs get really nice and golden brown because they're flat. The legs aren't as flat, so they don't brown quite as well, but you still want that browning. Once your chicken's removed, if you have much more than a tablespoon or 2 of fat, pour it off, but I'm looking fine here, so I'm gonna leave it all in and add my onion to the pan. A couple tablespoons of minced garlic, and 6 piquillo peppers that I've sliced. These come in a jar, they're roasted red peppers, or if you can't get piquillo peppers, you can roast them yourself. You want to saute this until the onions are translucent, and while you're waiting for that to happen, you can soak some saffron in white wine. You just need a pinch of saffron. It's very strong, very flavorful. You can't get it, or you're like, it's too expensive, I don't want to. You can leave it out, but it adds a really unique flavor to the dish. So I suggest, if you can get it, use it. I mean, you'll see, I really used the very smallest amount, and it's gonna add a perfume that is undeniably fantastic. So let that sit there while you're sauteing your onions. It's a 1/2 cup of white wine, dry white wine. Once your onions are translucent, you can add a little bit of tomato paste, about a tablespoon. I like to use these tubes because they're totally resealable and you don't have to worry about storing the leftover tomato paste, which can get like black and gross if you have those cans and you put them in the fridge. So the tubes are fantastic for that, especially if the recipes that you're doing don't call for a ton of tomato paste. Stir that around for about 30 seconds and then add 1.5 cups of short grain rice. You can use arborio, which is the classic risotto rice. You can use bamba, which is a rice that's used in Spanish dishes like paella. That's a really fantastic rice, and if you can get it, I recommend using that. Not as common as arborio though, so please feel free to try this with arborio. Stir the rice. And as you can see, I just added a little bit more fat to the pan. I felt like it was getting kind of dry in there. You want to coat each piece of rice with a little bit of fat, and that helps bring out the flavor as well as it cooks, keep the rice grains individual. Now add your wine mixture and let it completely evaporate. You're not looking for alcohol in here, you just want that delicious flavor of the saffron and the wine together. So let it cook completely off. Doesn't take very long at all. It usually takes about 30 seconds. And then add 3 cups of chicken broth. Then the chicken goes back in. Put it in skin side up. And what you want to do at this point is bring the liquid back to a full boil. That means boiling even in the very center. And have your oven preheating to 375 degrees. Just gonna take a couple minutes to do that. And then this goes straight into your oven. 375 for about 25 minutes or until all the liquid is absorbed. Oh wait, got the bay leaves. Don't forget those, you can just add those in. 2 dry bay leaves. Boiling now, it can go into the oven. 25 minutes or until all the liquid is absorbed. All right. Okay, so when the liquid is absorbed about 25 minutes later, take it out. It's pretty heavy, so be careful. And then you can add your peas. It's 3/4 of a cup of peas. And I just put them on top and cover it back up until they steam through and get warm. That shouldn't take too long, up to 10 minutes. You sort of do want to let this rest. So give it a chance to rest. And 10 minutes later, your dinner is served. Hold, please. All right, the great unveiling. Ta-da! All right, let me try it. Get some of that rice. Don't touch that handle. It's super hot. Actually, I'm gonna remind myself by doing this. I can't tell you how many times I've burned myself. All right, there you have it. It's a one-pot wonder, if you ask me. Mmm, yummy.